The first step to adding anything fancy to hymns is knowing what chords you play. So we're going to take a 4-part hymn, and I'm going to show you how to find what chords are in it. First, you need to know your chords. If you do not know your chords, I have this available. There's a link in the description. I'm going to sell it for 99 cents. It has major, minor, diminished, augmented, sus2, and then the sus or sus4 chords and 7th chords. So this will help guide you if you don't know anything about chords. So first off, I'm going to use the hymn Nothing But the Blood. It's in the key of G here. I got this copy from hymnary.org. First, we're going to find the first chord, which is G, B, D, G. We're going to remove the duplicate. So you notice there's 2 G's. So I'm going to take the top one out. And that creates a G major chord. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to write that this is a G major chord. Now this repeats the first 3 times. So I don't have to do it 3 times. And I'm just going to keep it as 1 G chord. Then it changes. Once again, I'm going to remove the duplicate D. Very easy. This is a D chord right here. Then the next. All right, so duplicate G's. So I'm going to remove that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the chord and make it into as much of a triad as I can. So I'm going to move this B and put it here. Oh, look, it spells a G major chord. So you have this, which is a G major chord, then this. All right, so for this one, remove the duplicate D. Once again, move the note into it. It's still a G chord. The only thing that changes is the soprano note. And then it goes back to the first chord. So G chord, G chord, G chord. By the way, I'm doing my hands weird so that way you can hopefully see the notes. Do not play piano like that. Then we're back to here. That's the first chord we found. We know it's a G chord. Now this one, it's an 8th note, and it's on the offbeat. So it's like 1 and 2 and. So that's called a passing tone. You don't have to find that chord. This looks familiar too. We found it just the measure before. So all of these are G chords. G, passing, G. So that entire measure is G. All right, now this chord, there's no duplicates, and then we're gonna move our right hand in the middle. All right, there's your D chord, and then adding the C makes it a D7. It's a dominant 7. So that's a D7. And then, all right, so this one, I'm gonna move this G up, and then duplicate is G. All right, it's just a G and a B. Well, we can imagine it's probably a G chord because this is written in the key of G. The good news with Nothing But the Blood is the second line is identical to the first line. So you just copy and paste what you found for the first line on the second line. Now to the chorus. All right, we got that duplicate and we've got this D up here. We're going to move it down. That's a G chord. Then this. Remove the duplicate and pull it down. Also a G chord. Don't have to rewrite it. All right, this is the same as we found in the very beginning. So you've got duplicate D, and it spells a D chord. Then this chord, again, we've seen this chord before. The thing is, once you find a chord and you see it multiple times, you could just say, oh, hey, I've seen this before. Oh, that was a G chord. And then you don't have to sit there and think through every single note. So that's a G chord. Then this one is a new thing that we haven't seen yet. So we're going to remove the duplicate and we're going to move the note down. Also a G chord. So that entire measure, once again, is a G chord. Then this, oh hey, we just saw this up here, right? So it is a D7. This chord, so we're going to pull that G down in the middle. All right, now that does not actually create a stacking triad. This is what's called an inversion. So you're gonna move that D to the top, and there you recognize that G chord. So anytime you see something, you're like, oh, that's kind of funny looking. See if you can just rearrange them until you hit the triad. Now, sometimes it's not, but most of the time it's just an inversion. If it looks funny like this, where it's like, oh, there's a big gap between these two and then a shorter gap between these two. So that is also a G chord. And if you want to be very fancy, you could say it's a G/D because D is on the bottom. So it's a G chord, but it has a D on the bass. All right, let's take out that extra note. Very easy D chord. All right, that's a very easy G chord. And then this repeats from the beginning of the chorus. So we just copy and paste, and then this almost, in this version, it almost is a copy of the very beginning. All it does is this one, it just repeats that G down an octave lower. So if you pulled it back up, you'd see, oh, that's a G chord, and then D7 and G. So for this one, the only unique chords are here and here, and then this is a copy paste here. This is a copy paste here, and this is a copy paste here. So very easy, and also the reason I chose Nothing But the Blood, there's only 2 chords, G and D. A very good hymn to start out on. So yeah, it takes a little bit of playing through and analyzing, but with that is how I teach my students to find chords, and then the more you do it, the easier it gets, and soon you're not even gonna have to write them down. You'll just be able to look and say, oh, I've played 10 hymns that has this chord in it. That's a G chord. So hopefully that helps you, and remember, if you need help knowing what all your chords are, I do have this printout that you can get.